It is the Riot on Radio U. You can text in 8772 Radio U if you've got a good roommate story.
I need to hear more of Hudson's, and this is not all for on air, but he was telling me about the guy who lived in the living room.
Yeah, he lived in I really can't tell too much about him, but he lived, and it's just sad because, well, okay, he doesn't really have any of the like, oh man, this guy is crazy, but just the whole package of this guy was pretty weird.
Sure.
And so he lived on an air mattress in the living room.
How much do you think he would pay for rent?
Oh man,
too much if you're living on an air mattress.
Yeah,
I don't care how much you're paying. It's too much.
It was weird because
it should be free.
I don't know if he was working at any point during the time where he lived with us, so I also don't know that he was paying rent. You know what I mean? Like maybe, but I also don't have no clue because I was renting from the guy who actually rented the apartment. I was like a sub, I guess you call that sublease or whatever.
Yeah, subleasing.
So I don't know how he would be friends with the guy on the air mattress. You know, but he was there before I was, so I don't know. But the air mattress guy, he like, I remember him. He would try to get like people to sign up for his. He was trying to start a personal training business. And so he had these like super not great flyers that he made up, and they had pictures of SpongeBob doing the weightlifting thing.
Oh,
like,
no.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that. And
that one I don't think took off. That business
for
really
some reason, I don't think he's doing personal training.
So could you go in the living room, or since he lived in the living room?
Yeah, I could, but it was kind of uncomfortable.
He did not.
Yeah, right. But what was difficult was the kitchen, because the kitchen and the living room were like the same room.
Yeah.
The kitchen and dining room. So anytime you had to cook, go to the fridge, anything, you had to go out there, and you just didn't know what you were going to see because it's air mattress guy that you know, like, what's air mattress guy going to be doing?
Yep.
Yeah. So that was a little weird. But
no, that's more than weird.
It's a lot weird.
It's more than a little weird.
But again, he doesn't have like I don't have any crazy stories about him, but I do have, and maybe this one isn't crazy either, but the roommate that I had in college, I only lived with him because it was broadcasting school. I only went to school for 6 months, so I only lived with him for 6 months, which was enough. Because although he's a very nice guy, he was like just a little more, I don't know, like he had a very close relationship with his mom. And so
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that.
Well, I want to hear what is.
Yes.
It was the weirdest thing I remember him doing is there was one night he had this girl he liked. Him and the girl went out. It was a Sunday night. They go to this concert, like somewhat near our apartment, but probably, a while away. At 9 p.m., his mom either texts or calls him and says, like, hey, where are you tonight? What are you up to? And he's like, I'm out at this concert and whatever. And his mom says, well, tomorrow's a school day. It's you got to be back at the apartment. Like, you better get enough sleep for school. And so 9 p.m., my roommate with the girl he likes, he leaves her at the concert because his mom texted him and heads back to the apartment, takes the bus back to the apartment.
All right.
No.
Misses the headliner of the concert, leaves the girl stranded there, and gets back so he can get a good night's sleep because his mom told him to.
It was so great meeting you, but my mom really said I needed to get home tonight.
Yeah. So that was that was where I knew he was from a different world. I told my mom that story, and she's like, even I wouldn't expect, like, I would expect you to lie. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm in my bed right now. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to go to sleep.
Getting a very good night's sleep, not at a concert. No.
Yeah. So he was he also made like the biggest pot of ramen. Like, he would get the 12-pack of ramen and make the whole thing for one meal. I was like, I don't know how much money you're saving if you're doing it that way, but I guess if it's filling you up, it's all good. And he was notorious for clogging the toilets at the house.
So no! Yeah, now that's the worst yet.
That was the only part that really affected me.
Sure.
That
Why
was
would
pretty
he just
crazy.
call his mom then and come?
Come fix the toilet, Mom.
You know that we aren't like best friends with any of our previous roommates if we feel comfortable talking about them on air, because that means they do not listen to us speak on here.
Yeah.
One of the things for me too, my roommate and I, like, for right now, for the most part, like, agree upon everything. Like, we don't really have any terrible things like about each other, but I know one thing that I do that makes him really upset, that I am bad about, and I will soak this because I know I am, is I will leave leftovers in the fridge for too long. I know I will. Like, things that probably have gone bad. That is like the one thing that I'm bad about, because like I think things are good for longer than they are. I'm like, this smoke is only like a couple days expired. It's probably fine and he'll smell it. He'll be like, dude, come on. He's like, I'm always throwing away your stuff. So that is the one thing that I know I'm bad about.
That is still not compared to Hudson's life.
Yes,
think
exactly.
Right.
Yes.
That's no living room guy.
Yeah, I don't sleep in the living room.
Oh my gosh. Well,
you have a good roommate situation when you have your own room.
yes, that's a
That's
good
the standard
start.
we're setting up. The bar is low. If you have your own bedroom, that means your roommate's kind of like you.
You're doing good.
8772 Radio U if you want to text in with a good roommate story. It is the Riot.